Good day everyone and welcome to the more than 1,000 new subscribers since the video that I put out yesterday. Now today I want to give you my take on the meeting that happened in the Oval Office between US President Donald Trump and President Cyril Ramaphosa and his entourage of unelected people. And this is a very important concept and the final takeaway from that. And this video won't be long, it'll be to the point. This morning I was looking at the news media reports on what happened in the Oval Office, and the South African media do not understand that US President Donald Trump is briefed daily on what they are saying, what you are doing, ENCA, SABC and all the others. That is basically saying that it was a victory for South Africa. Now, what I saw yesterday was one of the greatest embarrassments, and I watched the clips later. I was doing more important things at the time than watching this clownery, because I knew beforehand that there will be one end goal, and that is total control over the people of South Africa, which will benefit not only the South African government, the people in power in the current ridiculous, undemocratic system that we have, but will empower the American elites as well. And at the end of the day, this is all about monitoring, tracking and tracing and setting people up for this. And people that don't understand this or couldn't see this after watching the clips from the Oval Office need to go and watch the Moments in Time and Question Everything series of videos on those two playlists on this channel. But then you will understand the bigger picture, and this bigger picture is super important. This is about monitoring, tracking and tracing your every move, because the true winner in the Oval Office was crime. And who was blamed for crime? Us, the South African population. So this is what happened. We had a government delegation with unelected people in the Oval Office to try and woo Trump because he's a golfer. It's the most pathetic thing I have ever seen. And they really believe that Donald Trump is a stupid person. And although I'm not a supporter of any US president, Donald Trump is not stupid. The man actually has a high IQ. He understands that you were trying to play him and fool him. He understands this. And whether I might disagree with the way he says things and the way he carries himself, etc., there's many of the things that he has done that I do agree with. The things I don't agree with is the advancement of artificial intelligence, the advancement of data centers, and many other things that will enable the technology, like drones and many other things, that can be used against humans in future. And the thing that will be used as an excuse will always be crime. And that is why I say that crime was the winner in the Oval Office and the loser is human freedom. And South African President Cyril Ramaphosa tried to distract Trump when he tried to highlight what he believed to be problems in the country that I really believe he's personally concerned about. Try to take him back to something different. How South Africa need to use more technology that the US can provide to South Africa, and the narrative is played out clear for anyone to see, where the US will benefit through the purchasing of the technology, and South Africa is supposed to benefit by our crime dropping. How has the crime improved in this country since 1994? It has only gotten worse. The current government, in the current governance system, since CODESA and all the other dumb meeting by global players that set up a constitution, has brought us to our knees. Those people have set us up for failure. Our country is basically like a war zone. And there's many people living in comfort in gated communities. There's many people that live on mega farms that are protected with hectic security, that are living great lives. Yes, I'm sure Ernie Els and Retief Goosen with all their winnings are living great lives in South Africa. but many people are not. Many people in informal settlements are experiencing mass shootings regularly, where over 70 people are killed in South Africa every single day. It's like a war zone. And the rest of the world, they were watching what was happening, and they are asking questions. South Africa was forgotten for a very long time, and the one thing that Donald Trump did is bring attention to the situation in South Africa. And the thing that's been highlighted is the high crime rate. And as I've said before, crime will be used as a tool to completely take our freedom away. And this is something that most people don't understand. Most people will hand over their freedom on a platter because of crime. They would rather be safe than fight for freedom. And as I've said in the past, that throughout the centuries, people would fight, come together with bows, arrows, spears, swords, to fight for freedom, for their wives, for their kids, for the future of the communities that they were in, the countries they were in, to fight for freedom. They would lay down their lives so that their posterity would have the freedom to make choices. Many of the freedoms that people enjoy around the world today, what is left of freedom, is because of sacrifices those people made back then. So, what will we see in the next 5 years between the US and South Africa? Like I said before, South Africa has been run by the Anglo-American bloc for many decades now. Many decades. This was part of a plan that started centuries ago in the late 1700s when the Bavarian Illuminati that Adam Weishaupt started. And if you believe it's fiction, go and read history. There's actual documents that prove the membership of the Bavarian Illuminati, how they were banned, how the premises were ransacked, how the people fled all over the world with their ideology, and how these people want to create this utopian future, which sounds wonderful. But the methods and the means that they would use to do that, we are seeing at play right now. And Donald Trump is not immune to this. Cyril Ramaphosa is not immune to this. John Steenhuisen is not immune to this. When I was a part of the DA, as a DA member, and I was in meetings with many people, prominent people within the Democratic Alliance, including MPs, including the Cape Town Mayor and many others, people would talk about deep politics. Stay out of deep politics. Don't talk about those things. We need to keep quiet about those things. These are the things that people like Rob Hersov speak about, that Cyril Ramaphosa speak about, because he's a billionaire. They are billionaires. That the Ruperts speak about, that the Oppenheimers speak about. Unelected people, they speak about these things. And then every few years in South Africa, we are expected to go to the polls and vote in a system that has let us down. So to get back to the Donald Trump, Cyril Ramaphosa saga. Cyril Ramaphosa looked like someone that believed that Donald Trump is the biggest idiot on the planet. This is the first thing I noticed. The way he spoke to him, and the South African media just lapped this up. And if I look at News 24 this morning, it's absolutely shocking what they are putting out. And News 24 is owned by Media 24, which is owned by Naspers, Koos Becker, one of the people that is one of the four most powerful people in South Africa. Besides Nikki Oppenheimer, besides Johan Rupert, and besides Chris de Visse. If you look at those four people, they literally own most of South Africa, control most of South Africa. And someone like Cyril Ramaphosa was created by Harry Oppenheimer and subsequently still supported by Nikki Oppenheimer. So Cyril Ramaphosa is still beholden to the same people. And at the end of the day, the bigger picture needs to be seen, not what is put out in the media, what is put out by right-leaning people on social media and the left-leaning South African press. It is deeper than that, many layers deeper than that. And that is what I'm giving you here. You need to see it at the base plan, and that is to remove all your freedom. Bring a new order in the world that many of the world leaders have spoken about. Cyril Ramaphosa is 100% on board with us. John Steenhuisen and the entire DA, Helen Zille, are all on board with us. And if you bring in the United Nations and their plans, the 17 development goals, Agenda 2030, you will see how these things will be accelerated. And crime will be used around the world to do this. And how did this happen? People were imported from all over the world to various Western countries to demolish and destroy their governments. This was planned a long time ago. This was part of Adam Weishaupt's plan, a plan that was given to him by what he claimed to be an angel of light, a being that appeared to him out of the freaking blue and gave him a whole lot of information as to how to create this new utopian world, how to help humans to become immortal. Now, I've spoken about this in my 00 Days meetings, giving people more detail, because on social media, things like this will normally get ripped apart. But based on my experience, once again in counterterrorism intelligence and in the nuclear industry, I have been able to put a picture together that most South Africans battle to see. Many of the people on this channel see that picture now, see these things playing out, because I've told you how it will happen. So don't think for one moment that Donald Trump or any other world leader is coming to save us in South Africa. He's not. He doesn't care about South Africa at all. There's very specific people that he's mind peddlers, the people that put ideas in his mind, that really can manipulate how he thinks, what he aims for, so that he can be empowered himself. And this is a part of his personality traits that makes him weak. It's a fact that people like Rupert Murdoch, who is a committee member, a member of the Committee of 300, call them the Committee of 300, whatever you want, the people that meet at the beginning of every year before Davos in Switzerland, in Geneva, Switzerland, where my father attended one of these meetings, saw what these people were planning when he wanted to sell a motor that runs on water to the world, to try and help the world. He said he would do it for free. And no one was really interested. So he was let down by that entire situation. I didn't have much of a relationship with my father. He was never really with us as a family. But I did learn many things from him and from the documents that I got after he passed away in 2011. To put that picture together, the broader picture. This is my first-hand experience and information, and I'm willing to share a lot of that with you. Many things are too sensitive to speak to in a public forum. Many of you that I've met personally, I've given more detailed information as you've asked for it. And at this time, a lot of guidance is needed because the confusion out there is huge. At the moment, you're sitting with two sets of media. People that are conservative, right-leaning politically, that are 100% believing that what happened in the Oval Office was a victory for certain groups of people or groupings of people. And then you have the left-leaning media, and I'm politically on the political compass to the bottom left, just to the bottom left, close to the border, more or less where Nelson Mandela was placed. So I'm very close to the political center, and I feel for people. I have empathy with the circumstances of many people in the country. I understand the frustrations of Julius Malema with regards to many things, especially minerals, etc. in our country. The methods that these people use, that the ANC use, that the DA use, and many of the other parties, I'm not even talking about Mkhonto we Sizwe, which is just another branch of the ANC, the EFF, which is just another branch of the ANC. It's the ANC being fragmented into different groupings, because if you put all of their votes together, it's a big majority at the end of the day. So I have sympathy and empathy with many of these people. I look beyond all of that. You have to look beyond that. And beyond politics, it is important that you see the bigger picture, that there is a global picture here, and that South Africa plays a key role. And the key role is rare earth minerals. It's about military, it's about military might and control. And this is one of the biggest things the US need, is military might and control, because they don't have a lot of the gold that they were given to safekeep at Fort Knox. It's gone. They actually bought oil from Saddam Hussein and many other people to fund those purchases of oil. Weapons of mass destruction was troops looking for bunkers with gold, but it wasn't buried in Iraq. It was buried somewhere else. Not buried, stored somewhere else. But that's a story for another day. The one thing that you need to understand is that there's a deeper level of understanding. And once you understand that Libya's gold and Iraq's gold was a big deal for the US, that they went to war with those countries, many other countries, to get the gold back because it didn't belong to the US. So America is financially in very big trouble, much bigger trouble than South Africa. But they have the strongest military. And as I've said in the past, that the person in a room of people where everyone has a gun that is willing to pull the trigger of that gun is the most powerful. And America has been that country throughout history. They've always been willing to pull the trigger. And our South African delegation looked really pathetic in that Oval Office because Donald Trump has the largest, most sophisticated military under his control at this stage. He can do what he wants to many places in the world. Maybe Russia and China can give them a go. But let me tell you something. The US military machine is where most of their funding has gone. And America has done research on technologies that most of the world hasn't seen yet. And if the chips are down, they will use that technology. And the world will be shocked to see what is at Donald Trump's fingertips. Just understand one thing, for me to end off, that this is about the control of all humans, so that there can be a one world government with a one world leader, a one world religion, where all the people will worship that one world leader. This was the plan of Adam Weishaupt, the Bavarian Illuminati founder, and I'm sure Rothschild helped him to promote those ideas and take it further into the world. Once again, go and watch my Moments in Time and Question Everything series of videos where you will get that information. I would love to see the fallout, the further fallout from this Oval Office visit, because the world was shown how Cyril Ramaphosa was basically, as the media called it, ambushed by US President Donald Trump. And as I said, it was always going to happen. And Julius Malema singing "Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer" and all those types of things, these are struggle songs that have been there for a very long time, and that is why the court has found it to be acceptable to sing. Now, the fact that we have a judicial system that would allow something like that says even more about the country and our constitutional democracy, if you can call it that. It says a lot about that. It is not okay. Cyril Ramaphosa has not denounced it. And people in the media in South Africa, like SABC, like ENCA, must certainly be thinking, wow, I am paid to put out a narrative that certainly these people cannot believe, because they are singing from one hymn book. And the interesting thing is that hymn book might one day destroy their family and their lives. So keep on watching this channel. Please share this video with your friends and family. Like it. Comment, please. How did you find this meeting with Donald Trump? And how do you feel about the fact that the South African people, citizens, were to blame for everything? That we are the crime problem. Not the government, not our constitution that has brought about this gang party system. As Cyril Ramaphosa said in the meeting with Donald Trump, we are a multi-party democracy. That is the biggest problem in South Africa. But they didn't take the blame for the crime. No, they said the US should help us. This is where the US should help us. We come with begging hands. Give us your technology. We need your technology. Drones, surveillance, etc. Let's see what pans out, what Donald Trump does about this, and then you will really know what that administration is about, who's calling the shots, and how much influence Rupert Murdoch and his friends really has on Donald Trump's ear. Thanks so much for watching. Till the next video.